Today on the Crackin Backs Podcast, we're joined by Kali Parkinson, a college student whose life changed in a single moment. So, with that said, we have Kali on our podcast today, and this isn't a story about what happened to her. It's about what she learned afterwards and why it matters to every one of us as we move into this brand new year. Welcome to the show, Kali.
Thank you.
So, Kali, before we talk about the accident at all, I want to start here. Who were you in the weeks before it all happened? You know, what did a normal day in your life look like?
Yes, so I was just a new freshman going down to college for the first time. I was moving down to southern Utah in St. George, and I loved sports. I played lacrosse throughout high school, and I was going down to school to go into the radiology program to apply for it. And so I was taking classes, going to school. I was on a intramural flag football team with a bunch of friends, and it was really fun. So I was involved in that, and yeah, I was going to activities there, and I just really loved college life down in St. George. I was there for about 6 weeks before it all happened.
So, when everything changed for you, there was this moment where time probably felt a little different. And if you don't mind, in your own words, let's set the stage of what happened. And what happened to you on that day? And do you remember the first clear thought you had or feeling that cut through all that chaos?
So I don't remember most of the night that happened, but I used to remember, and then my friends had told me part of the story too. So I remember going to a powder puff practice because me and some friends were going to be in the powder puff game, flag football game, and we were at practice, and it was homecoming week at Utah Tech that week. And so we went to an activity after practice was over and met up with some other friends, and we were hanging out at that activity, and it was a girl's birthday the next day. So a few of us decided to shuttle into 2 cars over to Walmart and get some things for her birthday. And I don't remember leaving that activity, but everything else was just everything that people had told me and what I used to remember before my memory kind of faded away. So we went in 2 different cars over to Walmart, and we got some things, and I went to get in the car that I was in before, and it was full. So me and my friend Haley, we jumped into the car with this guy that I had maybe only talked to once or twice. She knew him a little bit better than me, but I barely had talked to him, so I didn't know him very well. And we jumped in the car with him. He offered to give us a ride home since the other car was full, and we were heading back, and he asked if he could take us on a quick drive through Snow Canyon, which is a big canyon in St. George that's full of lava rock and lava tubes and super windy roads. It's a beautiful canyon. But yeah, we were heading back, and there was no alcohol involved or anything. So we were heading back, and he started speeding. He was going 113 miles per hour. And we were yelling at him to slow down, but it was too late, and he flew off of the edge, and we rolled 15 times down lava rock down this very steep hill. And yeah, we landed about 300 feet away from the road over by the lava. Like, there was these lava caves, and there was trails to go out to the lava caves, and we landed out by those trails. And so that's kind of what happened, and there's a lot more to the story, but I don't know if that's what you want to just hear for now. That's good.
Oh yeah, keep going. This is riveting.
It's one of those things that I want to hear and I'm afraid to hear, so go for
it. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so he passed away on impact, and there were people there that night that's a whole nother story. I'll get to that in a minute. But he passed away on impact, and me and Haley were both life-flighted to the St. George Regional Hospital. And I was rushed into an emergency surgery, and they called my family that night, and my family drove down all night to get there. And I I had 13 broken bones. I had a broken pelvis, and my sacrum was broken. My L2, 3, 4, and 5 transverse vertebrae were broken in my lower back, and I had 3 broken ribs, a severe concussion, and a 4-inch laceration on my head right here that they had to stitch up. So that was like the first day, and that was the first surgery. They put 2 screws on each side of my hip and a plate on one side of my hip, and they did that surgery. And then I did okay for about a day, and then my abdomen started swelling up, and so they rushed me into another surgery, and I had a laceration on my small intestines, and so they removed a section and resectioned it in surgery too. And then I did good for another day, and then on day 4 in the hospital, my abdomen was swelling again, and so I was called into another emergency surgery, and I have it all written down because it's a lot. I had a third of my colon removed that was dying. I had my appendix removed. I had a muscle tear all the way across the seatbelt line in my abdomen that they had to stitch up. And I had my pancreas damaged and my liver, and then my heart, lungs, and kidneys were bruised, and then I had a blood transfusion and my lungs were filled with fluid. So that was everything in the third surgery, so it was pretty bad. So I was struggling for a while, and my blood pressure was dropping, and they had to keep me in the ICU for a while, for about a week. And then after a week, I just turned a corner and just started doing better. And I was in the trauma unit for a while, and they were just taking really good care of me. All the nurses, I had so much love and support, and so many people coming down to visit me. And then about a month after the hospital, they were able to transfer me home. I was in a wheelchair for 4 months, and I had to basically relearn how to walk. I had to retrain my muscles how to walk again, and how to step, and how to stand, and I was going to physical therapy. And yeah, about 4 months later, I was able to walk with a cane walk assisted. And then about 6 months, I was able to fully walk without any assistance, without a cane or anything. And so, yeah, now I am doing so much better. And that was just a little bit over a year ago, and it's been going a lot better. Yeah,
How old
it's
were
been
you
crazy.
at the time of the accident?
I was 18. And now I'm 20.
I got to ask something really quick before we get in. I know that road.
Yes.
It's not that well traveled. How do they find you? You're 300 feet below the road.
Yes. So I'm actually friends with one of the girls that found me that night now. She does my nails, and she yeah, this is how we met. But I didn't know any of them that were there that night. So Savannah was on a date with this guy, and he wanted to show her the lava tubes because she had never seen them, but it was late at night. And so he took her, and this was around like 10 o'clock at night, and he took her to the lava tubes, and they started walking to the trail, and she was just in pajamas and strawberry slippers because she thought they were just gonna watch a movie. But he was like, hey, he just felt like he just needed to show her. And so he took her to this place, and they started walking there, and they saw 3 other people on the trail holding their flashlights at something on the trail and looking at it. And this was before like the caves. It was the trail on the way to the caves. And they saw them looking at something. So they went up to see what they were looking at, and it was a giant tarantula. And so they were all looking at the tarantula and petting it and taking videos of it. And and while they were doing that, and it was a couple and their friend that they ran into that was also looking at the tarantula, and they were heading back to go home from the lava caves, and then Savannah and her date were heading to the lava caves. So if that tarantula wasn't there, those 3 people would have been gone, and the couple would have been in the caves. But because that tarantula was there while they were looking at it, that's when the accident happened.
How did you land close to the tarantula?
It was by the parking lot, so it was a little bit away because they had to run out there and she had to get on her dates back because she was in slippers, so she couldn't run through the lava rock. But they ran out there immediately, and Savannah, just a few weeks before going down to college, she had bought a new pocket knife that had a seatbelt cutter on it, and she brought it with her to this date too, which is crazy. And so they called 911 immediately and ran out to us, and they could tell immediately that the driver that drove me and Haley was passed away. He passed away on impact. And then she noticed that I was in the back right behind him, because Haley was in the passenger seat and I was in the back middle seat, but I had kind of moved over to the side behind him. And they saw that the seatbelt, she saw that the seatbelt was wrapped around my neck, and she didn't know if I was alive or not. So she immediately went and grabbed her pocket knife and she came and cut my seatbelt off of my neck. And that's when I immediately started talking to her. And so she didn't know if it had me passed out or what was going on, but whatever she did helped me be able to talk to her. And then she was asking who I was, and I was able to answer what my name was, but then I was just started crying and saying that I was really scared, and she just was there for me, talking to me until Lifeline could get there, until EMTs could get there. And that's another really cool thing, is that the EMTs, they were doing a training that night, and they were headed back in Snow Canyon. And so they were just a few minutes away. So they were able to get there. And since the accident happened, I was lifted off from with Lifeline 24 minutes after the accident. So that was amazing. And they got me to the hospital in 3 minutes.
Oh my God.
So
I mean, it's amazing that you had cell coverage back there. I mean, it's crazy.
Yes.
Years ago, that would never have happened.
And usually people don't have cell coverage out there. I have never been able to before, so that was just amazing that they did in that moment. It was so cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And Haley, she had some broken vertebrae in her neck and a broken leg and arm, but she was in the hospital for about a week, and she was able to go home and go back to school in the spring. I had to stay home and in the spring and take online classes, but I was able to get back down to school this year for fall semester, which was great. Whoa. So we both recovered very well.
Holy crap. There's so many moments in that story that you had an angel on your shoulders looking after you. That is just, I mean, come on, you can't discount the fact you had cell coverage. Somebody was walking there. There's a tarantula. I mean, it's just one after another. I mean, surviving something like that doesn't just affect your body, but affects your mind. What was the hardest emotions to sit with once the dust settled?
Yeah, so I don't remember leaving the homecoming activity. And when I was first in the hospital, both me and Haley would wake up saying, like, slow down, you're going too fast, and things like that. And we would remember, and I would tell my mom, like, it was so scary. We were rolling, like, it was so scary, Mom. And I remembered everything at that time. But as I went through surgeries and with my concussion, as time went on, I forgot everything. And so I don't remember everything now, but I remember the first, like, few moments that I remember in the hospital. I was just, like, so scared, and I had gotten down to college for the first time, and I just remember being so sad that I was missing out on the Powder Puff game and on all these activities. And I was telling Mom, I have to go take a test tomorrow. I have to go take a test, because I had a test the next day, and I was just remember just being stressed about that and missing out on all of my schooling and stuff. But my mom was communicating with all my professors and with the dean, and she was helping me out. But yeah, I just remember being scared, but I knew I was going to be okay.
My God. All right. Well, my partner's recovering. I got to ask, there's a strange moment that you talked about kind of earlier, where you go when you trust your body, right? You trust it to walk, you trust it to move, you trust it to do what you want. And now you have to relearn something you used to trust. How did you experience that? What was that like for an 18-year-old to, I mean, you're already dealing with college life, everything's brand new. What was it like to try and find the trust back in your body and your mind, because you have blanks in your mind? What's that like for somebody not only your age, but even our age is tough, but what was that like?
Yeah, it was definitely hard at first because I just thought that I was going to recover really fast and that I was going to get back down to school in the spring semester, but I guess just that realization hit that it was going to take a while for me to recover and that I wasn't going to be able to just get up and walk again after having that much damage. And also, I forgot to mention this, about 6 weeks later, my leg was hurting. This was when I was home from the hospital. My leg started hurting, and we went and got it x-rayed, and I found out my fibula was broken too. It was snapped in half in my leg. And so there was that on top of it too.
God.
And so, yeah. And so, yeah, it was just hard, and it was just like, why did this happen to me? Like, why did this happen to us? And I had some hard nights for sure, but I also just had so much hope and just such motivation to get better. Like, I went to physical therapy and I was just like so excited to be there. I just wanted to get better so bad. And I just did my exercises every day and I just really wanted to get better as fast as I could. And yeah, it was just, I remember just standing up for the first time and trying to take steps at physical therapy, and my legs and feet just like forgot, like muscle memory. Like, it just crazy how just 4 months makes you forget how that happens, like how you walk. And like I just couldn't, I had to literally retrain my muscles. And I just remember being like, wow, like this is like so much more than I thought it was. It's going to take so much more for me to be able to just take a few steps again. And yeah, it was crazy just to process that. But I was just so thankful. Another thing, yeah, I was just so thankful with the severity of the accident that me and another girl got out of that and were able to recover, that we were okay. And yeah, I was just mostly so grateful and so thankful that I was able to get out of that and be okay and be able to recover. And I was just so thankful for all the support and everyone that helped me through that hard time.
Terry, who fractures a sacrum? Nobody. How the heck? Here, just
actually, my sister did. She did it by skating, and her daughter pulled her back, and she landed on it and snapped it in half.
Ugh.
But
yeah,
to your point, yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, you gotta, and here's the kicker that
painful too. Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, it was very painful.
Oh, and by the way, you have a fractured leg, a fibula, or whatever it was. Oh, just incidentally.
Oh, you're trying to walk, but you know what? Oh, my feet don't seem to work right. Oh, that's because you have fractured, cracked in half fibula.
Or whatever it was. You know what the real kicker here is, and everybody needs to hear this. She was wearing a seatbelt. Is that right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. We were all wearing seatbelts.
But it wrapped around her neck.
Which is even more, yeah.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. And by the way, it wrapped around your neck. Yeah. But still, I mean, okay, go on, Terry. I'm reeling from the shock of, because, Dr. Terry and I have kids too, and they're in their 20s, but still, they got friends that are irresponsible and just, can you imagine? Anyway, go ahead, Terry. Go ahead.
Especially if you know this road, it is very cool. I mean, the lava tubes are cool and the whole area is cool. But this remote, it's back there. You're in a canyon and it's twisty and it's amazing that time of night who would go 100 miles an hour on the twisty road anyway, unless you're an F1 driver. But they're going that fast at night. Was it a weekend or a weekday?
It was a weekday.
All right, a weekday.
It was on a Wednesday night.
A Wednesday night. Who's hiking on a Wednesday night at 10 o'clock? And it's the fact that there's cell coverage. I mean, let's get that over. And the fact that unfortunately one passed away, but 100-mile-an-hour crash, 15 rolls, 300 feet, and everybody wasn't wiped out. I mean, that's just amazing. The thing that's also getting in me, because Spencer and I both have kids, is the one thing that's so hard for kids and is that time of your life when you're leaving home, you're leaving that sanctuary, you're leaving your comfort zone, you're leaving everything you know, and you're going off to school. And now you're trying to learn independence on a different level. Yes, your parents are still paying for the rent and food, but you're still trying to learn independence. And now you get this accident where you have to become dependent again. How hard was it to go from being just figuring independence back to being back and being, I'm sure your parents had to help you with some pretty personal stuff, to go back to being almost like a baby again and then have to trust your body again? What was that process like?
That process was definitely something I had to work through too, because yeah, like you said, I couldn't really do anything on my own. I had to be pushed everywhere. I couldn't drive. I couldn't get my own food. I needed help with showering, going to the bathroom, literally everything. It was definitely really hard, but I am just so thankful for like my family and that they were there to help me. But it was definitely hard because, like you said, yeah, I was being independent for the first time, and I was really looking forward to experiencing that, just to go to being dependent again, and very dependent. And yeah, it was just definitely a hard thing to get used to, but I was just really, really thankful for the support, and it really brought things into another perspective for me too, just how fast things can change and how just one night can just flip your entire life over, and how grateful you got to be for what's around you and the people around you, because it can just change in a second.
Did you say your major was radiology? Is that what you're?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
So did anything change when you went back to school? Because now you're having to recover. You're having to learn about how your body is fragile and everything like that. But now you're learning a different aspect of nutrition and physical work and mindset and environment. Are you looking at your major different? Did you change your major? How's school now post accident thought process when it comes to how the body is?
Yeah, I have not changed my major. I still want to do radiology. I am applying for the program this year. And yeah, it just made it so I want to do it even more, because then I can have empathy for the people that are going through things like that I went through, and I can care for them even more than before. And now, going back down to school, I'm actually working as a physical therapy tech. And so yeah, I get to help people recover every single day. And I was like, yeah, I just went through this. Like, I'm here for you. And it's just so amazing to help people with that every single day. And I love my job.
I have one more question before Spencer jumps in. Do you have a pet tarantula now?
No, I don't, but I might have to get one day. I might need one day.
I think you need a tattoo of a tarantula, because that seems to be I think your guardian angel showed up as a tarantula. I think
No, I actually hated spiders before, but now I love tarantulas. So I might have to get one.
I think you need
I need to get a pet.
I think you need to get a pet or a tattoo of a tarantula, and that's your guardian angel. People are going to go, what?
Yes. Yeah, and it's so crazy too, because Savannah, this girl that told me like everything, and two of them had visited me in the hospital and told me a little bit about the tarantula story, but they went and helped Haley on the other side of the car. But Savannah was the one helping me, and I didn't meet her. She didn't reach out to me until this school year, like at the first of the fall this year. So it was about a year later. And she was just like worried to reach out. She just didn't know like what to do, and it just took her a while to find us and be able to reach out. And she reached out to me, and we went and got ice cream, and she told me the whole story, and I was just shocked because I didn't know the whole like seatbelt details and stuff. And if I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, none of us would have made it, but that seatbelt was wrapped around my neck, and if she wouldn't have been there to cut it, who knows what could have happened. And if they weren't there that night, it was down. You can't see it up from the road. We wouldn't have been found until the next morning, and we would have all been gone. So, and the way she described it to me, she just said that she just felt carried that whole night, and they know that there were definitely angels there that night. over us, and and that they were, and she said that when she found me too, that I was literally like in a bubble of space, because if you see a picture of the car, it does not look like a car. It is just crumpled. And she just said that the whole car was destroyed, but it just looked like I was just in this little bubble of space. And she just knows that we were protected, and it was amazing to hear that from her.
Okay. I'm completely unfamiliar with this landscape, and all I hear is lava rock. That's like rigid, harder than cement, and a vehicle.
Yes.
Am I understanding this clearly?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So there's like parts of it, it's just like black hard lava rock, and there's like, it's not like a flat terrain. Like it like dips down into pits, and then there's like these big like lava rock structures like sticking up, and it just it rolled through all of that. And I got to go visit that area about 6 months later when I was walking, and I just wanted to see it. And there's still car pieces out there today. Just, it is crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's so many crazy coincidences, and the fact that they were passing through on and people aren't usually in that area and all that, and that a tarantula was out on a Wednesday night. What's a tarantula doing out on a Wednesday night? No, I'm kidding.
Usually they go on Friday night.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, but all kidding aside, I'm curious, because I really want to ask you that maybe a personal. Well, this is all personal, but it may be a question you may or may not want to reveal. But life before this for you, did you have experiences with, challenges in your life? Because you seem pretty spunky and positive and upbeat. Maybe that's like that because you lived through this. But what did you feel? Because there's a lot of kids your age that they contemplate suicide. They are having tough times. What was your upbringing like? What was your life like? Did you ever have moments of remorse and anger or guilt? Well, obviously everybody gets angry, but anything like that?
I feel like I've been a pretty positive person my whole life. Like, of course, like I've had challenges, but I feel like I've always like had faith that things will get better and that there will be like a better side of things. And I just I don't know. I've just kind of always been pretty positive, I feel like. And so when that happened to me, I just immediately knew that it was going to be okay. And I tell my family, like, of course they were extremely worried about me, and I would just say, it's going to be okay. And
really?
It was,
what was driving you to, I got to get deep on this, because this is a core value that's really, really important to everyone on this planet. And what is it that makes you feel positive? How do you, in the eyes of fate, that made you go, I'm going to get through this? Did you have past experiences that were really difficult that you got through? Was there a mentor that you learned this behavior, or are your parents like this? I mean, tell me, what could it be?
My parents have always been like really good examples in my life. They've always been so kind and supportive to me. But I don't know. I've never really had like a huge challenge like this before in my life. And I don't know. I never really had a huge challenge, but I was just always kind of, throughout high school and stuff, I was just always a really motivated person. Like, I was an athlete, and I always loved like working out and going to the gym and just getting better. And I just was, I don't know. I was just excited to just get better and recover. And I just knew it was gonna be okay. I didn't really have any challenges before, but I just wasn't feeling like it. I just learned a lot of lessons from it. Like, yes, it was hard, but it just kind of brought me into perspective that I can go through this, I can get through anything now. And so now if I have any other challenges come my way, I know I can get through it because I went through this really hard challenge.
What's your relationship like with the other girl in the car?
We're really good friends. Yeah, we were friends before because we had just met when I went down to college that year because we were on a flag football team together. But now we keep in contact all the time and we're good friends. And yeah, it's been good.
So,
yeah.
So, what are things that maybe you recall prior to the accident that you would worry about or be maybe not depressed, or how about now? We're all challenged, and that's what gives us the fabric of that, a being that makes us a quality person, to be able to get up when we've been knocked down. But are there things that don't matter now that you thought mattered before?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think I just before, like, I just cared so much just about, like, I guess just about, like, friends and social, and of course, I still care about that, but it's just, like, going through that just really made me realize, like, what people are really there for me, like, actually really there for me and supporting me, and now I just really realize how important family is and how, supportive they are for me, and, of course, like, my strong connections with friends are important too, but family will always be there for you, and the second I got hurt, they came and brought me home, and I had to drop out of my classes, and they just took me in and took care of me, and I just realized how important family was. I always knew it was important, but it just really means a lot more to me now how important family is.
Okay.
Do you look at faith different?
Yes, yeah, definitely. I have always been pretty faithful, but now it's even more because of everything that just came together that night. It's just like, wow, like, there was definitely no coincidences there. It's just amazing, and it really strengthened my faith for sure.
All right, give me some real upfront answers on this one.
Okay.
Your generation looks at TikTok, Instagram. It's a constant comparison, and that puts people in this tailspin because they don't seem to size up to what they see on those social media sites. Did you ever feel that way in the past prior to the accident? And how would you feel now? Or have you ever felt that way?
Like, sorry, what do you mean by
when you compare? Do you compare it to what maybe, or do you do social media?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me start from there. And do you watch? Well, I mean, I watch dog videos and comedy. So, I mean, for you, is it? Do you see see videos of people that you are inspired by, or frustrated that you're not where you wish they were? And because that seems to be a source of frustration and depression, even for your generation of kids. Do you feel different? Or did you feel that way in the past, and do you feel differently now?
Yeah, like, I feel like most teenagers, like, yeah, I did compare myself with others on social media a lot sometimes, but I also knew I was, like, my own person too, but I did tend to compare before, but now it's like when I was in my wheelchair and going through that hard time, I would compare a lot, and I was like, "Ah, my friends, they get to go back to school, they get to be in school right now, and I'm stuck here at home, like, I can't do anything, I can't work, I can't do school, I can't do this, like, I can't walk," like, it was really hard for me some nights, but, now just getting better, I am just like, "Wow, I am my own person, I'm on my own journey, I can share my story with others," and I definitely haven't really compared. I feel like I've matured a lot in that way with comparing myself with others because I just am my own person with my own amazing story to share with others, and I've been able to inspire others with that story, and it's been to be an example to them, and it's just been super amazing to do that and take something good out of the bad that happened and share that with others. It's been good.
So rewind a little bit. because
Okay.
you're here to help other kids that suffer for things that you would think are so minor. But let's rewind at that moment where you would feel, gosh, my friends get to do this and I'm stuck in this darn wheelchair or what have you. What got you through that?
Yeah, I think just my mom got me through it a lot. She always helped talk me through anytime I was sad, but I think what got me through is I was just like, it could have been so much worse. I could have been paralyzed or been stuck in a wheelchair like some people, and it could have been so much worse than it could have been. I'm able to recover and I'm able to walk and be pretty much 100% again, and I just knew I was going to be able to recover, and that's what got me through, is just knowing that it could have been so much worse than it was. Yeah.
Good. Because
hey, I got one piggyback on that. When all the dust settles, I'm always fascinated when the dust settles. In the beginning, you have all the support, family, friends, all that. But once the kind of dust settles and people go back to their lives, beyond your family, what was some of the things that friends or strangers did that impacted you?
Yeah, I think because when someone's injured, of course, a lot of people came and go and support that person. Like when I was injured and in a wheelchair, people were so supportive. But as I started getting better and walking again, there was some people that maybe weren't as supportive as they were before when I was in the wheelchair. And it's most people, like my close friends, of course, and family, were so supportive throughout the whole thing. But then there was some people that were like, oh, like, I'm here if you need anything. And then, yeah, when you get better, they're like, oh, she's better. And they don't really like think twice about it. And so I think once I was better, it was just kind of more like, I had so much support from others, but now I gotta figure this out on my own mentally. And when I was better, I felt like I was recovered physically, but I also had to recover mentally once I was better and process all of that and just figure it out myself. And without I just had to figure it out mentally myself too. And
I think the
got through
reason
that.
I think the reason I'm asking that is our families are supposed to be there for us. I mean, that isn't always the case, right? But
Yeah.
and then when Spencer talked about TikTok and social media, everybody wants to be I'm the hero, I'm helping them, all that kind of stuff. But then once everything fades, it's the people behind the scenes that that do the little things. And I want people to realize that it's the when did you need it most? Was it like 5 months after, 6 months? And when did that was it something that somebody said helped you that wasn't family members? Because we tend to forget and move on with their lives and realize, no, there's still people that need some help.
Yeah, it was probably like once I was completely done with physical therapy, like 6, 7, 8 months later, it was just, that's when the support kind of started fading off, and just what really mattered was my friends that were still patient with me, that would walk slower with me since I couldn't walk fast, and still be there for me and let me talk about it as much as I needed to. And my parents, I'll still talk about it with my parents to this day all the time, because it's a huge thing to go through and process, and it's just helps to talk about it. Just the people that let me open up to them about it and stuff when I need it.
I mean, let's be real. You're only a year and a half out.
Yeah,
so
almost.
You're still going through stuff.
Yeah, it was on September 25th, so September 25th, and so, yeah, it was just a little bit over a year ago. Yeah.
Did you? Oh my God! Earlier, you had said something about you made a comment that you didn't dwell on it, but you did make a comment about that. I hear a lot of injured athletes say, "Why me?" What got you through? Why me?
I think that just sometimes, I think it was me because I feel like I am more positive and was strong enough to go through it. Just, I don't know. I just feel like I was able to get through that, and that happened to me so that I can share that with others now and help people that might be going through a hard time. And even if it's not a car accident, if it's anything, it's like, oh, like you're going through this hard time, like I went through this, like I can relate to you with this, like if you need anything, I'm here for you. And like, yes, it sucks that it happened to me, but I think that I was just in a good place that I wanted to get better, and I had harder times, but for most of the time I was just really positive with it, and just really thankful. It just really made me more thankful. And I know I already said that, but it really, when you just get everything taken away to the point where you can't even walk or take a step or stand up by yourself without help, it really makes you more thankful for the little things. So I was just like, wow, I really miss standing up. Wow, I really missed walking. Like, and now I'm trying to get back into running again slowly. And it's like, wow, I hated running before, but now I miss it because have it taken away. It makes you more grateful for things that you didn't appreciate before. And
so now we know. Now we know two things that have come out positive after this. Mm-hmm. Your appreciation for spiders and running.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Kali, let's play a game here. If you weren't allowed to tell, no, excuse me, not allowed to. If you did not have a moment to tell your story to somebody going through the shitter, what would you want them to know and sense about you that would help elevate their esteem, their inspiration, that where you wouldn't have to go, well, listen, I went through this and then what would you want them to know? What would you want them to feel?
Well, as being a physical therapy tech, like obviously with all my patients, I can't say that to every single one of my patients, like, oh, I went through this, I went through this, but it's just like, you're doing great, like you got this, just one day at a time, even just a little bit of progress is going to help you, just a little bit at a time. I'm here for you, and just get a little bit better every day. You're doing great. Just push yourself and you'll do great. Yeah. It just doing it a little bit at a time each day just really helps motivate people. Just that even the littlest amount of progress is still progress.
How would you imagine a patient describing you?
Describing me?
Yep.
I feel like pretty caring. Yeah. Pretty empathetic.
Empathetic,
yeah.
We met you through one of our favorite people, Matty Blanchard, and he was one of your anatomy instructors. What did you learn from him, and how did he help you?
Yeah, I didn't purposely like pick him as my professor. Like, I just walked in the class and I saw him in the wheelchair and I was just like, wow, like the timing of this is just crazy. And I went up to him and I was like, hey, like, I just wanted to let you know you're just such an inspiration, like what you went through. Cause he would tell us like a little bit like about it in class. Like mostly we were obviously learning about anatomy, but he would say like little bits of parts and what he went through and how he surfs and golfs, and it's just so amazing. And I was just like, wow, you're just such an inspiration to me, Matt. Like, it's just so cool, like the example you are to me, and that just a year later, like I just went through this. Like, how did you go through this twice? Like, he went through a car accident twice, and I was like, how did you get through it mentally? How did you do this? And it was just, I just let him know that he was just such an inspiration, and just the timing of him being my professor was amazing because he was so cool, such an inspiration.
Were there any words that he's told you that helped you get through it mentally?
Yeah, I was like, what do you do to help yourself like get through it mentally? And he was just saying that life can just change in a minute, that life can be so short, to just live it out the best you can and just enjoy every little thing in your life. And I definitely took that to heart.
Okay. I am seconds away from choking up. So I just got, I gotta, okay. Let me ask you. Oh my God. Let me ask you one more thing.
Hey, you got this. So, today it's a thumbs up.
You got good. The goosebumps were on display multiple times, but what's really is when my eyes start to feel like they're going to water and I'm holding back. So here we go. Let me ask you one more thing here. We're heading into a new year, and for those who are listening, and it's already 2026 or whatever year it is for them, this is
whatever year it is. 2030 finally tuned into us.
Well, you know what I imagine. Yeah. I imagine because I see a lot of young athletes and they get injured. My grandmother was a genius, man. She used to always say, it could have been worse. So to this day, I say that to them. And for now, I have a young kid that went through hell and back. And that's someone I'm going to want people to listen to. I don't care what age you are, because you have a character about you that is, well, unstoppable. So I love it. But let me ask you this. So we're going into this new year. Everybody wants to, get healthier and, make some changes. And, what really matters? What's one truth you learned the hard way that you hope someone listening doesn't have to?
I think just the biggest truth is just to sorry, give me a minute.
Oh yeah.
No, that's all right. I actually was going to imagine that you were going to say.
Give her a minute.
Yeah. Well, I'm giving her a minute by talking.
No, go ahead.
I like the silence. It's powerful.
Okay, you're on stage. Go. What?
I think just going through a new year, it's just everyone's always like, new year, new me. But I think just to just keep those like that you love are closest to you and just really cherish them in your life. And yes, like improving yourself and getting better is so important, but also be grateful for what you do have already.
Super cool. All right. We've hit her with a bunch of questions, but now we're going to have the real fun. We're near the end of the show, and we always do 5 rapid fire questions. So These are questions that you are on your toes, quick to answer, and we always get caught up in a story, but we got 5 of them for you. Are you ready, Kali?
Yes.
Question number 1. You're studying anatomy. When you studied the human body, did you gain a better understanding of its fragility and resilience?
Yes.
Okay. In what way?
Definitely resilience, because it's just learning about every single part of the body. It's like, wow, I can really see how this worked. Like this part of the body happened to me. Like this is what got injured in my body. Like this part of your body is so important and helps with so much in your body. And I'm so grateful that I still have this body part and that it was able to heal. And it's just so amazing how the body heals. And it was just so cool to see that and how resilient the body is, for sure, because they just recover itself. And yeah, it's just amazing.
One of my college buddies used to always say, when we would learn something in chiropractic, he goes, man, the body kicks ass. He would always say that because it does. It's so well integrated. So question number 2, since studying anatomy in school, what has become your favorite human organ or body part and why? You got silence, Terry. You want what?
She may be stumped on this one.
I think so. Come on.
I think
Come on, Kali.
This would probably be anyone's answer, but definitely the brain, because it is just so amazing what the brain does and how complex it is and how every single lobe just does something different. One part has memory, one part has quick thinking, and it's just like so amazing. And if one part of that brain gets damaged, then it just damages a whole entire section of your body. Like your brain is so important. So it is pretty cool.
Good one.
And not to like talk more about it, I forgot to mention this, but I am also so grateful that my brain didn't have any damage with the severity of the accident, that my brain is completely okay. I had a severe concussion, but I didn't have any complete I didn't have any permanent brain damage, which is such a blessing. And they didn't know because in the first of the hospital, I was super loopy because I was on a lot of morphine and like other things to help with my pain and stuff. And they didn't know if my brain was going to be okay because I would loop and say things again and again and again because of my concussion. So my mom didn't know. And towards the end of the hospital, I have played the piano my whole life. Forgot to mention that too. And towards the end of the hospital, when I was going through rehab, they asked what I wanted to do, and I asked if they had a piano in the hospital. So they wheeled me up to the piano, and I was able to play Clair de Lune memorized that I had learned my junior year of high school. And I just went up and played it, and all the nurses came and they were crying, and my mom was crying. And that moment is when my mom knew that my brain was going to be okay.
Oh, God. All right. I'm trying to get through question number 3, and I almost felt myself choke. All right. If you could teleport right now to one place in the world, no questions asked, where would you go and what would you do first?
Ooh. Probably Costa Rica because I love like tropical places. I love the beach, and there's lots of amazing hiking there, and I just loved like I went to Canada out of the country for the first time this last summer and got to go hiking in Banff National Park, and I would just love to go hiking in the beautiful tropical area there and see the waterfalls and the animals there, and just it's a beautiful place, and I would love to see Costa Rica.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Good one. It is beautiful, by the way. All right. Question number 4. What's one thing about being a student, late nights, studying, life on campus, that you both hate and secretly love?
Love, I definitely love all of my professors, and then I love just the college life. The campus in St. George is beautiful, and I love I love my job there, and I just love the area of St. George. It's such a beautiful, warm place. I love the warm weather, and yeah, I've always kind of wanted to go into the medical field, and so I love being able to study that and get to be able to learn more about that and what I'm actually like really interested in. And what I hate about it is being away from family and my close friends from back up here at home. It's really hard sometimes just being alone, and I'll get homesick sometimes, but right now I'm home for Christmas break, so it's really nice to be home, but it's definitely hard to leave breaks to go back down there and be like, okay, like I'll see you in a few weeks or maybe a month. It's definitely hard, but I do love college.
I got one more question for you, but I just want to make everyone completely aware of what a special kid you are, because that question has a more of a psychological component to it, and that is when you ask somebody to tell them about something they hate and something they love, they always pick the hate part first. So I commend you on that and want you to recognize that, because I typically will ask a patient, because doctors are meant to inspire their patients through their injuries and their emotional conflict, and I'll ask them, what are things that what do you hate and what do you love? I go into a little more detail. man, they're so clear on what they hate. And sometimes they are completely stumped and have nothing that they're in love with or inspired by, or a moment in their life which is just incredibly awesome. And that I commend you on that, because that is truly the fabric of who you are. So are you ready for the last question, Kali, now that we've made your ego this big? What message do you want to...
Yeah, I'm ready.
Right. What message do you want to leave our audience with that you have learned and absolutely want to share?
I think that everyone just needs to be more grateful for the little things. And I know I already said this, but to just really just cherish and love every day and just notice the little things in life. Like when you are outside walking around, don't just look at your phone. Look up around at the world and just be grateful for everything around you, because all of that can just be taken away or changed in a second. And just the people around you, just tell them how much you appreciate them, and know that if you are going through something hard, that you're going to go through it. Just push through a little bit every day, day by day, and you'll be able to get through it.
I love this kid. Is she not the coolest?
Thanks.
Sorry. Go ahead, Terry. What did you just say?
I want to end just on that. I don't want anybody to hear any of our words anymore. I want people to think of that. So thank you so much for being on the show. You're amazing.
Thank you. You guys are amazing. Happy New Year. You guys are amazing. This has been such an amazing opportunity speaking on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Crackin Backs Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Crackin Backs Podcast. Catch new episodes every Monday. See you next time.